Shalom, shalom. Oh, Slaki. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. We're here with another video. So before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekahak Wadash, to the elder apostles and elder bishop of Great Millstone, who rule well. I'd like to give double honors. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Because today's lesson, Meddle not in another man's business. We're going to start with this law and crime article by Chris Perez that was uploaded 5 hours ago. Husband murdered man tried to help his wife to get away from him. Judge let the killer out so he could go home to be with his family, relatives, and cops say. All right. An Ohio man attempted to help a friend in need get away from her husband during a fight and was killed because of it, according to his family and the police. Justice Oni 24, ain't that funny, allegedly gunned down Nathan Flight 25 as he was trying to help on his wife, Wani's Salakia, no how to say Oni, Wani's wife to a safe place during a domestic dispute that the couple were having, according to Bremerton Police Department and the local CBS affiliate WOIO. He was just there to talk to her because she was obviously upset and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, explained Bremerton police officer Marty Eberhardt of WOIO about Flight, whose family spoke to the station about the incident. One allegedly shot Flight to death while the trio was outside near an intersection in Barberton. Police says he forced his wife into the car at gunpoint after the incident before fleeing. The couple was located a short distance away. The suspect stood accused of murder, felonious assault, and abduction. One of these was released on bond last Wednesday and is currently on house arrest, which has Flight's relative feeling both angry and fearful, per WOIO. The judge let the killer out so that he could go home and be with his family, said Flight's father, Jason Flight. I don't get to see my son again. I'd like to know if Judge Rowland would do the same thing if it were her child, because I don't think she would. We're gonna end it right there. And let's just be honest here. If his father taught him to stay out of another man's business, all this could have been avoided. Because if he just came over there to talk to her, obviously there wasn't no domestic violence going on at the time. Why not? Why did she call the police if he was beating on her? If she had enough time to call him over to come help her escape, why didn't she call the police or try to escape into a neighbor's house and call the police? Why call this man up and get him involved? Now, his first mistake, which cost him his life, was going over there and minding somebody else's business. What he should have done was like, look, man, that's between you and your husband. If he's beating your ass, call the police. I mean, they're going to believe the woman anyway, whether she's telling the truth or lying. They're going to believe the woman first. Why not call the police? No, she called his dumb ass and got him killed, then got back in the car with him. All because why? He didn't know how to mind his own damn business. A lot of men will be alive today by just minding their own damn business. Because if he was beating her like that, I'm pretty sure that wasn't his first time. That wasn't his first time putting the hands on her. And she stayed there. And you go in the comment section, you're going to be them women, y'all don't understand. We had to stay. No, y'all didn't. Y'all don't have to stay. Y'all choose to stay. Because women like drama like that. That's their thing. They love that kind of drama, to where the niggas beating on them, or some other kind of crap like that. Now this man done lost his life because he just couldn't meddle in his own affairs. Which now we're gonna get to these scriptures that warn you. This is why the scriptures are pertaining to life. Because if you follow these scriptures, man, situations like this won't even come up. We're gonna start here first. Proverbs 26 and 17. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ear. And this strife didn't belong to this man, whether she was a friend or not. Like I said, why not call the police instead of calling this man? And from the looks of the picture, he looked like he wasn't no physical violence kind of guy. But she called him now, and he was ended up put to death. Why? Because he meddled with strife that didn't belong to him. That was her strife. Let her fight her own battle. You stay at home and stay alive. See, if they were teaching the true words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua in these churches, a lot of this wouldn't go on. I'm pretty sure you can go to a pastor now or any one of these so-called Christians and show them this scripture, and they'll be lost by it because it ain't Christ-like. But Christ would have intervened. Hell no, he wouldn't. That was that man's wife. No, he wouldn't, because we got laws against that kind of stuff. But since you want to meddle in someone else's business, you want to meddle in another man's affair, guess what? You get put to death. Because you didn't belong in that strife. You had no dog in that fight, but you chose to go over there anyway. And your reward was death. That's what it was. Now, before I go, I want to get this word melody. Because all he had to do was just stay out of it. It's like it. What the hell that was? Where we at? Okay. Proverbs 26 and 17. Going to the word melody. Meddle, strong H 5674. A bar. A bar, a primitive root to cross over, used very widely of any transition, literally or figuratively, transitively, intransitively, intensively, causative, intransitive, intensive, slocket, causative, specifically to cover, in copulation, to alienate, to alter, at all beyond, to bring over, throughout, to carry out, to overcome on, to overcome over, conduct over, convey over, current over, to deliver, do away, to enter, to escape, to fail, gender, to get over, to make away. I mean, let's just try to get to the end because this is just gonna take too long. Let's see. No. To pass over, to cause, to pass through, to pass over, to cause. Let's see. To pass over by or by through, to alienate, to bring, to carry over, to do away, to take away, to transgress. Yes, that's what we needed, to transgress. Meddling in someone's business, you transgressing in their business. Meaning, we'll get the definition of that word transgress. Salakia. To infringe or go beyond the bounds of a moral principle or other established standard or behavior. Yeah. He he infringed on that situation that really didn't concern him by meddling in their affair in their business. He went over beyond the bounds of what he should have. Like I said, if she had time to call him, shouldn't that time would have been put on 911 if her husband was beating on her? Why call him and put him in the mix? Everybody mad at the man, but y'all should be mad at that friend who called him over. Because she knew that man had nothing to do with it. And she knew how her husband was. This right here is nothing surprising to her. That's why you ain't hear nothing from her in that article if you go read it. She knew how her husband was. Yet she still called this man over here to meddle in business and strife that wasn't his. And he ended up getting put to death for it. And that showed you the wickedness of a woman. Because she didn't even have that to do. But a lot of men have met their end trying to help women, lusting over women. Heck, trying to do what that man, her husband, was doing. Many of men have met that tragic end behind women. And the Bible warned you about that. This is 1 Ezra 4:26 and 27. Some men are driven out of their, in the GNT, Salaki. Some men are driven out of their minds on account of a woman, and others become slaves for the sake of a woman. Others have been put to death, have ruined their lives, and have committed crime because of a woman. And didn't this man ruin his life by being put to death? He ruined his family lives too. Because all he had to do was stay out of it. If that's her husband, like I said, call the police. They're going to believe the woman anyway. But no, you running over there trying to get her out of a bad situation. You put yourself in an even worse. Now you back in the spirit realm saying to yourself, I should have left that bitch where she was at. Because guess what? Like I said, that wasn't his first time, man. If he took it that far, that was not that man's first time putting paws on her. And it wasn't going to be her last. Let's say he did get her away safely and her husband didn't come after her. All she was going to do was go back to him. That was all going to happen. She was going to go back to him. He's going to beat her ass. She's going to go back to him and get her ass beat again for leaving. So basically, he just really lost his life for nothing. Why? Because he couldn't mind his own damn business. Which is sad to say because that woman could have easily called the police and left him out of the business. But hey, that shows you what type of friend she was. All right, we're going to go here. Sirach 11 and 10. My son, meddle not with many matters. For if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. See? He wasn't innocent in this situation. Because this was between a man, this was between a husband and a wife, Salaki. He didn't have to be there. That wasn't your job to tell it to come get that man's wife and take her somewhere else. No. Her job was to deal with her husband. Why didn't she call the police? Heck, why didn't she go get the gun that he used to kill him and shoot him if that was her choice? That wasn't your job to be over there, to meddle in their business, to meddle in their affair. When she called you, your thing should have been, look, that's between you and your husband. I ain't getting in between that. Whatever you do is on you. But he didn't. Try to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And guess what? You end up needing to be saved, what you did. That's why Yahweh Shem and Haushai judged. Because that wasn't his business to be there in that man's affair with his wife. All right? And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. See? Him picking her up and going down the road, he didn't escape by fleeing. Judgment still came upon him for meddling in business that wasn't his. That's all they had to do was stay out of it. I'm pretty sure she called him crying. He beating on me again. Please come help me get up out of this situation. Nope. Hey, I'm sorry, man. We done did this once before. Mm-mm. Call the police. If you need help, call the police. They got guns and vests and all that other stuff. They can help you better than I can. But see, he trying to be a friend, then got smitten. More likely got smitten with her, and got his feelings involved in it, and getting close, and they end up costing him. No, and the scripture warns you about that. Let me see if I can find that scripture. It warns you about getting close with someone else's wife. Let me see how it went. No. I think that's how it goes. Let's see. Here we go. Ecclesiastes 9:9. Or Sirach 9:9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thy heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall unto destruction. See, this is why the scripture pertaining to life, and keep you away from situations like this where when it comes to time to make a rash decision that could cost you your life, it will save you. I'm pretty sure, as the scripture say, he's sitting with the woman, his heart done inclined to her, he feeling bad, because they always together, and start developing feeling. So he gonna come save her from her mean husband. But the scripture said don't do that, man. This is why. She had a husband. She had someone. It wasn't your job to deal with them. It's her job to deal with her husband. Or his job to deal with her. You on the outside looking in should have just minded your own business, and you'll still be here today to tell your story. But you didn't. You meddled in another man's strife, in another man's affair, and you will ultimately put the death behind it. That's why I said this in 1 Peter 4:15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other man's matter. And that's what happened. You suffered as a busybody in another man's affair by being put to death. You let your heart incline into this woman who wasn't going to leave her husband, who were going to, even if you got her to safety, we're going to just go right back to him. Now you put yourself out there trying to be a hero. Now you in the dirt, back in the spirit realm. Realizing how stupid your choice was when you just should have left her alone when she first called you. Because I'm positive she told him her and her husband getting into it. If you wanted to come over and talk to her, as the police say, talk to her over the phone. Over the phone for her. Tell her to call the police. Keep your ass at home. Stay safe. It's crazy, man. But this is what happened when you meddle in another man's affairs. You get put to death. Don't worry about what's going on in someone else's home. Mind your own business and try to live your own life, because that wasn't your affair. We're going to end it out here in 1 Thessalonians 4:11 in the Common English Bible. Aim to live quietly, mind your own business, and earn your own living, just as I told you. And that's all he had to do, just mind his own business. And he'll still be here today with his loved ones, and wouldn't have got put in the death. But since you want to mind somebody else's business, hey, it come with consequences. But that's all I had on that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem and Shai, and Shabbat Shalom.